And we finally have the new Abyssal Expedition event coming out. And this one actually has some pretty game-changing updates and some major quality of life improvements. So you start by choosing one of three sides. I can't honestly tell which side is the best at the moment. So far it looks like you will want to choose the same heroes as always, so start out with your best and then swap into the Celerity team to just run through the event. You start out with 80 food this time instead of 60, and you don't regenerate food until after the first 4 hours. However, you do start gaining essence right once you join, so still joining as early as possible is most advantageous. The food regeneration rate is the same, however, it's the 4 per hour. There is this new feature once you hit the Viscount rank, so that's the 4th rank, where it's called Relic Soul. And what happens is you have your highest relic, so you should only be upgrading one relic at a time, and in this case it would probably be Celerity. You upgrade your Celerity and it's at 3 or whatever it's at, 3 or 4. You're allowed to apply that relic's bonus to one hero on your team that is not from that class. So let's say you want to use a Rowan with your Celerities or an Ains with your Celerities, they will get that stat boost added to them as well. Keep this in mind for choosing heroes to keep in, probably support heroes for early boss gates. Twins would be a great example. There was a change done that makes the relics stronger. This puts more of an emphasis on the relics than your heroes, and kind of evens out a little bit. Veterans versus newer players should make the event slightly easier for new players. However, this also increased the strength of the opponents that you face. I didn't see a major increase on strength, but it was definitely noticeable in difference. Players that were able to take Town 1s right off the bat last time were really struggling with them and were more focused on Village 3s this time. So just to give you an idea, maybe in the realm of 1.5 times more difficult. One thing to note this time is that when you drop your blink tiles, they stay connected. So no more worries about losing bridges. The only time you'll lose a bridge is if someone drops a lower village or town. That does not stay connected. You will still need to actually own a blank tile to put your camp down for the extra boss damage, as long as it's connected, that is. So make sure you do that. But otherwise, an interesting thing is that you cannot retake a blank tile after it's been dropped. So we have our map. There's 3 sides. There's a top side, there's a left, and a right side. Really the only differences will be the bosses that you run into. You start out running into Zaph, like the same as last one. And then afterwards there are 3 different bosses for the 3 different sides. There's Desira, Eluard, and Moriel. So this will be where it might make a difference depending on how strong these heroes are, for which is the best side to choose. You'll notice that you have to run clockwise to get up to these next bosses. And then in the 3rd area, the entire thing is connected. So you are not forced to go after the boss closest to you. You can rotate to any of the bosses. And all of them are the Twisted Realm versions of Odin, Arden, and Shamira. Just from experience in the Twisted Realm, I'm going to guess that either Arden with a good warrior comp, or Odin using the same one hero at a time Celerity comps will be the best options. So a lot of people will like to choose the top path because it lets you off closest to Odin when you get to this third zone. Also, take a note that in this first area the bosses are linked, so that any damage done to any of the 3 bosses gets applied equally to all of them. I'm not quite sure yet if the second or third round bosses are also linked. I'll have to wait and see when my test server guild makes it there. So here are the boss's stats compared to last time. You'll notice that the attack and defense went up pretty significantly, but also, more annoyingly, the dodge went up by a decent amount. Other than that, pretty similar. The boss's first skill is this world Purge. The balancer shall rotate his faction affiliation in the following order: Lightbearer, Mauler, Welder, Graveborn. Only affects damage calculations. The balancer unleashes a death ray that deals area of effect damage to his enemies. The balancer starts the battle belonging to a random faction. Second ability is Energy Deprivation. When this ability is cast, heroes that are the same faction as the balancer or are standing behind him are entranced and may only use normal attacks for the following 3 seconds. Heroes that are a different faction to the balancer will lose 50 haste points and 20% of their current energy every second, while simultaneously being unable to recover any energy. And the third ability is the Elemental Crystal. The balancer summons an elemental crystal that taunts heroes within range, also dealing periodic damage to them. Heroes standing behind him shall also be affected by the taunting. Each time a crystal is summoned, its health and damage will be additionally increased. The crystal can exist for up to 10 seconds, and only 1 crystal may exist on the battlefield at a time. So just looking over this, it kind of looks like it favors the 4 factions, so your Maulers, Lightbearers, Graveborns, and Wilders, just because the middle skill, the second skill, Energy Deprivation, is a lot worse for opponents of a different faction, and knowing his rotation is only the 4 factions, that means he will never be a Celestial, Hypogean, or a Dimensional. So that second skill will always affect those the most. It will really depend on how frequently it attacks or uses these skills. Also, the skills are heavily anti-ultimate abilities. So heroes, really the celerity heroes are best at dealing damage without using their ultimates anyways. So it really seems to favor celerity throughout this event. And notably Raku might be an interesting option here, but we'll have to see, and I'll try to get some more information for boss compositions before the global server makes it there. So another interesting new feature is the Stars of Dawn, where the top 10 players become a Star of Dawn for your guild, and it's just calculated based on account strength. They are each allowed to get 1 supporter, and the supporters can apply anytime from the matchmaking period start to 24 hours into the event. These spectators have to be already signed up for Honorable, and once they are chosen to be a spectator, they cannot participate in the actual event. However, they do supply stamina recovery increase to all the players in the faction or in the militia, and also even more to the person that they are spectating. I did some calculations, and overall your entire militia will receive less food if you have spectators than if everyone's participating, but it's very slight. So only guilds that are very consistent have an entire 70 active roster about equal strength. So like the top whale guilds are probably the only ones that would not benefit from this. All the other ones can probably utilize this to their advantage. Also, the spectators rank up with the person they're spectating. So they can still get all of the rewards as long as the person they are spectating goes throughout the entire event. It kind of looks funny on the leaderboards. There are a few differences in the rewards. Notably, there is a difference not only in diamonds, but in the dust gained and stargazers at the end for people who select the honorable path rather than casual. And also there is a new militia honors thing. The quests are just reaching the next rank, and then you can get up to 10 normal scrolls and 10 faction scrolls. So just a little bit more free stuff. There's a premium pass that you can unlock other things too if you want. If you are new to the Abyssal Expedition event, it is quite different than anything else in the game, and I would suggest that you would look up another video to try to get some more advice on how to participate in it. I posted a tips video recently that might be a good place to start. Other than that, thanks for watching, happy hunting, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.